This is a song written by Richard's girlfriend, or the lyrics are in there, right?
It's about a waterfall in British Guyana and how it got its name. Anybody know of the Kaiteur Falls in Guyana? Anybody know of Guyana? Besides Jonestown? Well, the story goes, there's this waterfall, there's this rocky outcropping at the bottom of the falls, and what the rocky outcropping is are the petrified remains of this guy named Kaiteur. I think it maybe is a myth, I don't know. 1, 2, ready, go. Kaiteur, the old man, sat on the river's edge, and as the sun began to set, it warmed him to his head. Kaiteur, the old man, sat on the river's edge, and as the sun began to set, it warmed him to his head. His life had been real, full of light and many children, cropping of his trees, building of his house, and he knew he'd never been driven. He said, river, 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 meant to be one. River, 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 meant to be one. Kaiteur wrestled close to the earth, tumbling in the grassy fields now, and running clear with the river's falls. Any danger he knew the river healed. He said, river, 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 meant to be one. River, 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 meant to be one. Kaiteur, the old man, sat on the river's edge, and as the sun began to set, it warmed him to his head. Kaiteur, the old man, sat on the river's edge, and as the sun began to set, it warmed him to his head. I never wrote you, he now said, but the rocks just bought a shudder, and the canoe pelted forward, and Kaiteur, he drove downward. He said, river, 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 meant to be one. River, 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 meant to be one. I never mastered you, he said. Kaiteur hung his head in disbelief, stooped and rocky. He now pays homage like a thief. He said, river, 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 meant to be one. River, 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 meant to be one. Kaiteur, the old man, sat on the river's edge, and as the sun began to set, it warmed him through his I saw the old man, sat on the river's edge, and as the sun began to set, it warmed him through his head. Thanks.
A chance for that question and answer we were talking about. I want to ask you if you have a question for the band to raise your hand and wait for me to come to you with the mic, because that way the people at home can hear your question too. Anybody like to ask the band anything? All right, Denise will start.
I'd like to know how you boys found each other.
Through the personal.
Well, years and years ago, I decided with another bass player, not Eliyahu, to form a band. This was like in the early 90s. I wanted to make a world beat dance band, so I got together with this bass player, and we put an ad in the paper looking for another guitar player. That's how Tom got into the band. And so Tom and I have been playing together for about 10 years now, actually maybe a little more than that. And we became this 8-piece dance band, playing world beat music, and it was just logistically torture. Dealing with 8 musicians, you can only imagine. QB became a part of the band during that phase. So anyway, we broke up that band because it was just too much hassle. And also, the emphasis was all on making people dance, and we write these songs, and we care about these songs, and the songs were getting lost in the dance grooves. So we became a trio, just Tom, QB, and I, and then we decided we needed a bass player, so we found Eliyahu, and that was about 2 years ago?
Yeah,
Year and a half ago. And that's how we found each other.
Anybody else? Right up front here.
So what's the significance of your name?
Well, there's actually a style of music called palm wine guitar music, and it's a West African style. And basically what it is it's folk music. Its lineage is complicated. It was like music that went from Africa to the Caribbean. Spaniards and Argentinians in the Caribbean taught these people how to play guitars. Slaves went back to Africa with guitars, acoustic guitars, mostly
records,
nylon
right?
string.
And they brought back records also.
They brought back records and stuff. And
music was really big in Africa in the 50s.
50s and 60s.
yeah, so it's basically a West African folk music style called palm wine guitar music. And there is something called palm wine. It's fermented palm sap,
It's nasty.
nasty stuff.
We
But it
tried
works, right?
It works.
We, maybe like 3 or 4 years ago, we figured, well, we're the palm wine boys. We better figure out what palm wine is. And so we finally found some at this crazy little African grocery in downtown Oakland. And we all gathered around my kitchen table and sort of had this ritualistic tasting of the palm wine. And I think we all tried really hard to like it. We felt like we were supposed to
wanted
like it.
We thought we had to.
Yeah. But I think ultimately, I still have a bottle in my fridge. It's way in the back with the strange blue cheese that I'm not going to touch. What we do really isn't palm wine music, though. I mean, it's influenced by that because we love that kind of guitar music. But these are our songs. We write the songs, and that's
It's
our
just
story.
influenced by that music.
I think you just answered my question. I was curious if you played any traditional music.
Well, the story with that is that the king of palm wine music is this guy named S.E. Roji, who is from Sierra Leone. He died maybe 5 years ago.
Something like that.
And Richard actually knew him years ago and played in his band, playing saxophone. When Roji lived in the Bay Area in Richmond. And
Where's
we
this going?
are actually trying to teach ourselves to play some Roji songs, because just for that reason, we're like, gee, we should play some real palm wine songs. The only cover song we know is actually by another African guy named Thomas Mapfumo, and he's from Zimbabwe and has nothing to do with palm wine music, so what are you going to do?
Maybe time for some more music.
Sounds good to me. Oops, got to change bases here. I get razzed by the guys in the band a lot because